Well, we're talking about the ongoing things at Rick Ross. Thank you for the person that contacted me this evening with their apology. It's well appreciated, although the letter that you sent and want to be on Rick Ross' site will 9 out of 10 never see the light of day there because it's not promoting their agenda. But I appreciate that you sent the apology. That is appreciated, and that you're owning up to the things that you have done. You know. So anyway, I just wanted to say, these people that leave and they're saying all these horrendous things that they're told they're gonna die if they leave.
If they leave
What
the
a
path,
what
they'll-
a bunch of absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
What Where do people get things like that? Where do they come up with it? How can they live with themselves for saying things like that? I don't get it. What would behoove somebody to make up that type of a lie? I don't get it. I don't get it. But it's just, it's when you see things like that, people that you've worked with try to help and aid in any way you can, and they go off and say things like that. It's just absolutely,
Atrocious.
yeah, it's atrocious. You sit there and you can't believe that you're hearing that people are actually saying things like that, which is 100% a false allegation. 100%. What is said here that people that leave the path, 9 out of 10, they are going to go right back into what they were doing before they were here, which they were in suffering then. They will go right back into the same thing and more besides. That's what's said. They were in a hell realm before they came. They leave, they go back into whatever it was they were in, which was a hell realm. That's why they came. So what am I saying? I said it point blank. That's what I said. That you're going to die if you leave the path. Are you kidding? That's never been said in any way, shape, or form. What a bunch of ridiculous BS. But the fact that people do leave and they go back into things they were doing before they came to the path, that's 100% been proven out time and time again. I don't know what to say. Now, if that's so offensive to you that you go back to what you were doing before you came here, what does that say? What does that say? But again, I really, really don't appreciate when people come and they leave and they get their nose out of joint about something and they're willing to sit there and lie through their teeth to make themselves look better. That's not okay. That's really not okay to do. But anyway, this being said, I understand somebody's going around and asking former students questions about what's going on here, and 9 out of 10, they don't know, the ins and outs and acting as if they do. I don't get it. Again, what does it afford them to make up stuff? So what is it they're asking about Kali, that I have statues of Kali in my house? Oh my God. Yeah.
Well, that you're saying you're the embodiment of Kali.
I did not say I am the embodiment of Kali. I had said I have the same type of energetic signature. That is something different. If you're going to, try to put words in my mouth, don't do that, okay? Yes, I work in the same type of way as Kali, which is to cut through the BS, to cut the head of ego. Yes, that is what this path is about.
It's totally twisted.
Well, that's it. They take something out of context and twist it where there's no resemblance to what you're saying.
That was horrible, and all of it was unrecognizable. It just was so twisted.
That's what I mean. They take something out of context and they spin it into some big story that has nothing to do with what's said here, has nothing to do with the reality of this path or what is given or the way it's given.
This was their own ill feelings that they were spinning on it.
Well, that's it. Yes, it's their own ill feelings. And that's the thing again. This is the problem. You think somebody's hearing something, and they'll take things out of context and turn it into something that's not being said whatsoever. There's a huge difference between having that type of an energetic thing and saying, I am the embodiment of Kali. Huge difference. 100% huge difference. So I don't appreciate when people go and try to put words in my mouth and take things out of context and say that I'm saying something that I'm not. I don't appreciate it in the least. If people want to ask genuine questions about this path, that's one thing. But to try to backdoor everything from somebody that's left and disgruntled, and you think they know the teachings? Really? Really? Anybody can go on the GuruSwamiji.com site and see what basic teachings are. And I guarantee it doesn't bear any resemblance to this crap that people are putting out there. So, it would behoove people, but of course when you've got a place like Rick Ross' site, they've got an agenda, and if it doesn't meet their agenda, just like this letter that was just sent, an apology that he would like to have on Rick Ross' site, 9 out of 10 it will not see the light of day there, because it does not further their agenda. Huh?
They'll ban him.
Oh, yeah, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, if he actually takes the letter that he sent to me and wants to take it to Rick's Ross site, 9 out of 10, yeah, they will ban him. They will ban him because he's coming clean and being honest with what actually happened versus what he was making it seem like happened.
Yeah, he uses his name, his full name.
He does use his full name.
He does disclose his name, and again, that's appreciated that he's willing to stand up and be accountable. And that's all that's being asked on this path. If people are going to say something, be accountable.
So you can use your name. Wasn't that one guy saying, I can't use my real name?
Well, yeah, they say you can't use. Yes, you can use your name. But like I said, 9 out of 10, that letter will not see the light of day there. It absolutely won't. And I'm not going to read it. Again, I appreciate that you sent it. You were honest in it, and that's appreciated. That's all I ask, is that people be honest. Everybody is not going to like here. This is not the teaching for everyone. Everything that I say is not popular. Okay, that's fine. It's not popular. Okay? So all I ask is that people be honest with their dealings with here, not fabricating stuff. Okay? And not everything that people, they're honest, and not everything is flattering. It's not, but it's honest. Okay, so all we say is, have some honesty, people. But again, when you have people that take things out of context, turn it into something it's not, try to put words in your mouth, do what in the Bible's called bear false witness. In other words, aka lying through your teeth about what you're seeing and what is there. It's not a good thing to do. You don't want to hear it from here? Read the Bible. I don't care. Read any spiritual text. You don't do that. You don't do that. The universe is not going to honor that in your life. If you are going to try to make any kind of spiritual progress, my suggestion is that you stop it and you come clean and you're honest. So that's the first thing that's taught in this path is honesty, integrity, and transparency. Be honest with things. But apparently, that's too much. The first 3 pointings haven't been understood, so how is anything else been understood? People don't understand when you talk about Shiva or Ganesh or Kali or any of this. You're talking about various types of energetic patterns. They haven't gotten that. They're not accounting for that in a correct way. They're going to want to make it seem like we're doing, pujas or worship or whatever it is that they're trying to make it seem that is not at all taking place. 100% not. So I appreciate those that have been on this path that still don't understand this path. Quit trying to instruct people in what's here. Because you haven't gotten it. If you don't know what it's about yet, and very few that are on this path have actually come and spent any amount of time. So they've read what's there, they've had some interactions on the thing, and they take again, you can be saying one thing, and when you see somebody in person, when they're saying it, it's a whole different view than when you're reading words on a screen, because you don't see the inflection of the tone. You don't see, when something is lighthearted, when it's not, and you can be in a pissed off mood and take it the wrong way. Common when you're reading text on a screen. And you can have it in your mind, and take it in a wrong way, in a wrong attitude, and it doesn't matter what's said, you're going to see it through the eyes of the lowest common denominator that you've got going. Even though something is being said, and I'm sure that everybody has experienced that to some degree in their lives, that somebody has said something and you've taken it the wrong way and run with it, and then later feel like an absolute asinine fool because you find out that it's not the way you took it to be at all. And if you say you've never had that happen in your life, I'm going to tell you you're a bald-faced liar. Okay? So again, there's a vast difference between actually spending time with the teacher directly and having interactions through a forum group, and you see them once a year, for a day or two during retreat time or whatever. but there's still not a one-to-one ongoing interaction at that point. This is why, in the older days it was better. The teachers only took so many students, and those students had to come and be with the teacher. And that teacher would spend the time to test and try them to see if they were ready for that path. Here we've opened it up really to almost anybody and give them the chance to navigate through it. So again, there's something to be said for the old way. We've tried to do it a new way to give as many opportunity, because there aren't that many gurus that are specializing in Kundalini and can work with that energy and can aid people to balance and to move forward, to get them out of the absolute. And most people that come here are in absolute terror and fear mode when they come. So you work with them to get them balanced out, to understand what Kundalini is, what it's not, what's beneficial, what's not. That's it. And if you think it's easy to work over the net with people, think again. It's not. If you have an ashram situation and people actually have to be there, you see where their words, their actions are going in alignment with their words. When you get people on the screen, they're saying one thing on the screen, and behind the screen, they're doing something totally different and lying to you. Then they get pissed off when they leave, and they've been lying to you the whole time. I don't get it. I don't get it. So again, when the old ways are, better in a lot of ways, because people had to actually be accountable, had to show up, had to be there, had to be committed, and you could see what they're doing in their lives on a daily basis. And I think, again, a lot of people in this country don't know what it is to be with a guru-disciple relationship. They've read too many books and fantasies, too much New Age crap, and they don't know, really how much it's supposed to be a path of fire. Even the Bible says, the dross has to be burned away to get to the gold. It's got to be refined. Metal that's refined is put through the fire. It's not fluffy, pat you on the head and tell you what a good boy and girl you are. That's not going to move anybody forward. Now again, people may not like what's said, but what's said here, if you read, again, you read the Bible, you read a lot of the spiritual texts, you'll find there's no difference. Okay? Just there's not. So again, people that have had some limited association here, please do not present yourself as if you have, carte blanche to all the inner workings and this path inside and out. Because 99.9% of the people that I've met and I've dealt with and I've worked with, you talk to them and you think they're hearing, and you find out they've heard very, very little, really have understood very, very little of what's trying to be imparted to them. That they take things, again, out of context and try to make it fit their lives in a spin that they're willing to hear, and again try to turn it into something that it's not, and then when that's not going to work, then they get embittered and get angry. Even though when they come, you say, you cannot try to turn it into that, it will never work, but they're convinced they can make it happen. And you can't. I'm sorry. You know, I wish you could. I wish you could take things out of context and then turn it into a new age fluffy, you know, co-creator with God, you know, The Secret and all the rest of the drama that they want to read on the sides and try to turn it into, but you can't, because it's not that type of a path. So that's all. So we'll leave this here. The joys, I'm telling you. Yeah. Really, if I wanted to go out and do this path for money, I would have taken advantage of the guy that came to Siliguri that time from the Mumbai newspapers that wanted to promote here. And at that point, I said no, because that is not the type of guru that I wanted to be. I could see he was after money. That was his intention. That was his aim. And I said no. And I have always said no. And I continue to say no. Not only no, but hell no. That is not what this is about. Never has been, never will be, and I don't care how you try to stuff it in that box, it doesn't fit. Okay? Just doesn't. So on that note, we will close this out. Everyone have a wonderful evening. And for God's sakes, people that choose not to be here, you know, people leave. I say, wish you well with your lives and go live your lives. But for God's sakes, go live your life. You make your choices. You know, like when people come and ask me, what do I do, what do I do? I say, don't ask me, because you have to live with the consequences of your actions, not me. I don't live with the consequences of your actions. You live with them. So if you think that's a Jim Jones type of an answer, good luck with that. Don't get it. Really don't get it. Namaste.